Hello, everyone. Welcome back for another video. I hope everyone's having a great day. Before watching the video, please subscribe and like it. In exclusive and candid conversation this week, reality television star Todd Chrisley opened up like never before about the real forces behind his public persona, his career choices, and the surprising truths about his connection with fans across the globe. This marks the first time since his legal controversies and personal challenges that Chrisley has chosen to directly address what drives him, both as an entertainer and as a person. A complicated rise to fame. Todd Chrisley first shot to prominence as the charismatic, unapologetically flamboyant patriarch of the USA Network's hit reality show, Chrisley Knows Best. Audiences were captivated by the mix of Southern charm, sharp wit, and meticulously crafted family values on display. But according to Chrisley, what people saw on screen was only a fraction of the story. People think they know me because they've seen me on television, but the truth is so much deeper than that, Chrisley said. Every word I spoke, every scene I did, it was for my family, for their future, and for the people out there who could see their own struggles in ours. The drive behind the spotlight. When asked what truly motivates him, Chrisley didn't hesitate. Faith and family. Those have always been the pillars of my life. But beyond that, I've wanted to give a voice to people who come from complicated backgrounds like mine. Chrisley's early life was far from the lavish world of mansions and designer labels depicted on his show. Raised in Georgia with modest means, he credits his upbringing for instilling in him a relentless drive to succeed. I was raised knowing that if you want something, you work for it. That stayed with me. Even when the cameras were rolling, even when I was smiling and joking, there was always a part of me that remembered the struggle. And I wanted that to mean something for someone else watching. The audience he never expected. While the show was marketed as a lighthearted family comedy, Chrisley says he received letters and messages from unexpected corners. People struggling with identity, faith, family dysfunction, and even poverty. I get messages from single mothers trying to hold it together, or young men figuring out who they are in a world that doesn't make it easy. They said watching our family, warts and all, made them feel less alone. That's not what I expected when I signed on to do a reality show. Chrisley's broad appeal, he argues, comes from something more universal than wealth or celebrity. What people really connect with isn't the house or the cars or the clothes. It's the flaws, the fights, the makeup, the way we screw up and keep trying. That's the truth I think resonated. Facing controversy head-on. Of course, no conversation with Todd Chrisley in 2025 can avoid the elephant in the room, his legal troubles, which saw him and his wife Julie convicted on federal charges of bank fraud and tax evasion. But Chrisley insists these experiences have reshaped his sense of purpose. I won't sugarcoat what happened. I made mistakes. But what matters now is what I do going forward. I could disappear, stay quiet, fade away. But that wouldn't honor the people who believed in me, not my family, not my fans. He sees this period not as an ending, but as the start of something more authentic. I think the most powerful thing a person can do after failing is to stand up and own it. That's what I intend to do. Not because I have to, but because I owe it to those who've supported me all these years. A new relationship to launch a podcast series later this year, titled Unfiltered with Todd Chrisley, where he promises to share untold stories, life lessons, and interviews with figures who inspire him. No scripts. No network executives, just real talk, he says. This is my way of connecting directly without the Hollywood filter. He's also working on a memoir, which he promises will dive even deeper into his personal journey, the good, the bad, and the lessons learned along the way. The future of the Chrisley brand. Despite speculation that his television days are behind him, Chrisley hints that new projects may be on the horizon. There are ideas floating around, he teases. Reality TV taught me a lot. But there's more to explore. Documentaries maybe, or something completely new. A message to the fans. Chrisley closes our conversation with a direct message to his fans. I see you. I hear you. Whether you loved me, hated me, or just watched out of curiosity, you made a difference in my life. And I want to spend whatever time I have left in this business being worthy of that. Final reflections. For all of his controversy, Todd Chrisley remains a fascinating figure in American pop culture. A self-made man, a media creation, a flawed and complex human being trying to reconcile fame, failure, and faith. As the entertainment world watches to see what his next chapter holds, one thing is certain: Todd Chrisley's voice, unfiltered and unvarnished, will be heard again. Todd Chrisley posts a thought-provoking message on Instagram. Todd Chrisley, known for his larger-than-life personality and his role on the reality television series that documented the highs and lows of his family life, recently caught the attention of fans and followers after sharing a deeply reflective message on social media. His post, which appeared on his official Instagram account, prompted waves of speculation and discussion about its meaning and the possible emotions behind it. Though known for his humor, sharp wit, and bold opinions, Todd has also shown a more introspective side, especially in the wake of personal and legal challenges that have made headlines in recent years. The message he shared stood in stark contrast to the polished and confident image he often projected during his time in the spotlight. The post itself was a simple image containing a quote layered over a muted background. Its tone was somber yet hopeful, its content introspective and heavy with meaning. Without naming names or giving specifics, Todd spoke to themes of faith, perseverance, betrayal, and the power of personal growth in the face of hardship. Fans immediately began dissecting the post. Some interpreted it as a response to recent personal difficulties, while others saw it as a broader commentary on his spiritual journey and emotional state. Many commented words of support, while others expressed concern, offering prayers, encouragement, and strength during what they believed to be a time of reflection and self-discovery. The caption that accompanied the post was brief yet powerful. It hinted at lessons learned, pain endured, and the resilience required to move forward. When everything around you feels uncertain, Todd seemed to be acknowledging not only the turbulence of his own life, but also the healing process that follows when one chooses to confront difficult truths rather than ignore them. Those who have followed Todd for years were not surprised by his willingness to express himself so vulnerably. While his reality show often leaned into moments of comedy and chaos, it also allowed glimpses into the more complex layers of his identity as a father, husband, and individual navigating fame, scrutiny, and private battles. Public reaction was swift and widespread. Social media users reposted the message across platforms, adding their own interpretations and sharing similar experiences. Some noted that the timing of the post felt intentional, coinciding with recent developments in the ongoing legal matters that have affected his family. Others suggested it was a spiritual statement, perhaps rooted in his belief system, which he has spoken about frequently in interviews and past posts. This is not the first time Todd has used his online presence to communicate deeper feelings or address rumors without directly naming situations or individuals. It has become a subtle method of communication for him, allowing space for honesty without confrontation for fans who feel connected to his journey. These posts often serve as a source of comfort and inspiration, especially when they too are facing struggles in their personal lives. What makes this particular message stand out is its emotional gravity. There was no trace of sarcasm or bravado, just a sincere tone that seemed to come from a place of contemplation. It reminded many that beyond the cameras and celebrity headlines, Todd is still a human being processing real emotions and enduring real consequences. Some followers speculated that the post might be the beginning of a new chapter, one in which Todd steps away from public feuds and instead embraces a quieter, more grounded lifestyle. Others wondered if it was meant to pave the way for a future project, such as a book or documentary that delves deeper into his personal growth and transformation. Regardless of the intent, the post has opened up a wider conversation about vulnerability and redemption in the public eye. In an era where many public figures curate perfect lives online, Todd offered a rare moment of raw truth, reminding his audience that life is rarely black and white, and that everyone has the capacity for change. While some critics remain skeptical, suggesting that the message might be an attempt to soften public perception, others argue that it should be taken at face value as a heartfelt expression of someone reevaluating their life journey and choosing a more honest path. As the days pass and the conversation around the post continues, fans are left wondering what will come next for Todd Chrisley. Will he continue sharing these moments of honesty or return to the polished persona that first brought him fame? For now, the post stands as a quiet yet powerful reminder that behind every headline is a story, and behind every story is a person learning, growing, and trying to make sense of it all. The ability to spark such deep reflection from a single post speaks to the enduring interest people have in Todd, not just as a television personality, but as someone who represents the complexity of modern fame, the mix of adoration, criticism, support, and curiosity surrounding him reflects the broader way audiences interact with public figures today, not just watching them for entertainment, but also looking to them for meaning, connection, and even guidance. As fans continue to send messages of support and encouragement, one thing remains clear: Todd Chrisley has not been silenced by the struggles he faces. Instead, he seems to be finding new ways to use his voice, drawing from the past to shape a different kind of future, one that may be quieter, more personal, and grounded in truth. Todd Chrisley shares message that seems rooted in the Bible. Todd Chrisley has once again captured the attention of fans and followers by posting a thoughtful message on social media that many believe carries strong biblical undertones. Known for his complex journey through fame, family challenges, and personal growth, the television personality appears to be leaning into his faith as a source of strength and guidance. The message shared on his Instagram account spoke of truth, redemption, and endurance, values that align closely with biblical teachings. Though he did not directly quote scripture, the language and tone of the post led many to believe the inspiration was spiritual in nature. Some followers commented that it reminded them of familiar verses about trust in higher plans, perseverance through trials, and the importance of forgiveness. Todd has always been open about his belief system and often uses his platform to reflect on lessons learned and personal transformation. In this latest post, he seemed to emphasize the idea of walking through hardship with grace and relying on divine wisdom to navigate difficult times. Fans responded with support and appreciation, many expressing how deeply the message resonated with their own struggles, whether drawn from scripture or personal experience. Todd Chrisley continues to spark conversation and reflection with his heartfelt words. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, America Trends 24, and stay with us.